Hey, what's going on YouTube? In this video, I'm going to show what's, in my opinion, the tools that every first year electrical apprentice should have walking in the door. And the reason I wanted to do this is because I wanted to give back. Been with a company called MC for over a year, and they've been good to me, and I've learned a lot. And of course I've made my mistakes, and I've seen a lot of other apprentices make some mistakes. And I said that what I'm going to do is just put it out there what anybody who wants to be a electrical apprentice, want to get into the trade, what you should expect when you walk in the door. And one of the things is, yeah, you got to have some tools. When I first got in, started with MC Dean, they give you a list of all the tools a first year apprentice should have, a second year apprentice should have, third year, and a fourth year. But being on an industrial site, I kind of there's some things that I think that you really don't need, even as a first year or second or third. And there's some things that I mean is a must have. Especially being on my being where I'm working at, because like I said, I'm working in an industrial site. So right now, if you like the video, hey, click the like button, and don't be shy, man. There's some tools that you think a first year apprentice should have. Please put it in the comment section, man. Don't be shy. So other than that, I'm gonna show you the tools that I think you need to have when you walk in the door. Here we go. All right, these are the tools that I think that every first year apprentice needs walking through the door. Okay, first things first, you're going to need some Sharpies and you need some pens. Pencils, yes, you're going to need some pencils, because there's some journeymen, some most sparkers out there that does not like you using Sharpies or pens when you're using it to measure and cut something like conduit. They want you to be able to use the pencil, make your cut, and then if they can, you can actually wipe the pencil, the wiping of the marking of the pencil off. Okay, so the next one you're gonna need, let's say a box cut, as a box cutter, or you need a razor. Okay, next you may need a knife, or I prefer both. Okay, I always carry this around. I already carry the pen and the Sharpie always around. This is always in my bag if I need to cut something. But usually, if I have a box to cut open, or something that has wrapping around it, this is usually my mainstay. Usually, I carry this everywhere. Okay, now this right here is one of the things no one tells you about until you walk in the door and you talk to a couple of experienced electricians. This is a voltage tester, aka hot stick. What this does is this helps you verify if there's any voltage going through as a receptacle, or let's say some wiring. How this works, I'm gonna turn this on. Right now, it's just blinking. But if I put it in a receptacle like I do here, it turns solid red, indicating there's voltage going through that receptacle. This is one of those things, guys, that you carry with you always when you're on the site. All right, next one, must have. These are the tongue and groove pliers, aka channel locks. Guys, if you don't know, if you've never been into the apprenticeship, or you're about to get into the trade, channel locks is a name brand. Okay, the actual name of this is tongue and groove pliers. Okay. You don't have to go buy the most expensive one. Now, this is the Milwaukee. I did also have the pliers created by the company Channel Locks, but I would suggest that you can go to some companies like Harbor Freights. They have companies out there who create things just like this, and they're just as good. Okay, all right. Next one. This is also a must-have. When I started with MC Dean, and they gave you this list of what first year apprentices should have as far as tools, what second year apprentices have, third years and fourth years. They tell you in the first year you go get these nut drivers, and I bought a whole set, and they're very expensive. And when I got on site and I saw some of the
Sparkies, old journeyman with this. I said, man, this is a game changer. This here, I don't have to, I mean, you talking about the space that you save. This thing costs $30 at Home Depot. This thing have multiple sizes for if you want to tighten nuts. So this thing goes from, I think, I don't know, like 3/16 or something like that. No, it's half an inch, 11/32 of an inch, and this go up to like 9/16. Okay, so sometimes I've seen people actually use this. So you got to have this. This thing, like I said, is $30. This thing is worth every penny. Okay, all right. Going back on top. Most guys don't talk about this. You're gonna need this here. Hex drivers. Okay, just don't go out and go buy the most expensive one. Just go buy something. I think I got this from Harbor Freight. I think this thing is less than like $10. Okay, I don't think it was $10, like $5. Okay, all right. Must have. This is a torpedo level. Usually some levels just come with the ability to show you something is plumb. That something was level, not plumb, level. Plumb is when something is perfectly vertical. Level is when something is horizontally level, okay? What makes this different is you have a 45 degree and a 30 degree. Usually most people use this when you're trying to bend conduit, all right? But this is what I want you to know though. You see these 4 strips? This here separates this level from a lot of other levels. And I've seen a lot of apprentices come in with these cheap levels with these magnetic strips. And then they put it on something metallic and it just automatically fall off. This thing ain't going nowhere once you put it on something metal, okay? So make sure, I forgot how much this costs, so make sure this is by Klien Tools. I think Milwaukee has one. I think some company named Johnson has one. Make sure you go all out when it comes to your level, because this is one of the things you'll probably be walking around with on site always. All right, now hammer. This thing costs, I think, like $7 at Harbor Freight. Must have, okay? You know how many times I have had journeyman wants to use, and I'm gonna get to it, at something else as a hammer. We call it a journeyman's hammer, rather than actually having the real thing. This thing has gotten me out of a lot of trouble. Okay, now another must-have: measuring tape. Okay, simple Milwaukee. This is fairly cheap. I think this cost me like $10. All right. Now here's the thing, guys. Know how to read a ruler before you get on site. I was absolutely dumbfounded when somebody asked me. I got into the trade when I got my first interview. Somebody asked me, "Kleins, do you know how to read a ruler?" And I looked at him like he was asking me a trick question. But you'd be amazed how many guys, 18 years old, 17 years old, coming out of high school, who do not know how to doggone read one of these. Okay, make sure you know how to do that. All right. Next thing is the multi-driver or multi-tool or screwdriver. What I like about this, now you can go get the traditional flat tip. Hold on, for those guys who don't know, Sparkies, journeyman, don't mock me on this. You'd be amazed how many people who don't know this stuff. This is a Phillips head. It's for a Phillips head, okay, and this is for a flat tip, okay. This thing here has multiple sizes. I can use it as a nut driver. It got multiple bits. Okay, so this here must have, and takes up less space than all the doggone screwdrivers that I have that's in my bag. Okay, all right. These are known as the Lineman's Pliers, okay, aka Kleins. When I first got into the trade, people kept talking about, man, you need a good pair of Kleins. You need a good pair of Kleins. What the heck is a Klien? I didn't know what a Klien. Klien is, like I said, just like I talked about this is a name brand. Kleins are a name brand. This is actually Lineman Pliers. Okay? Must have into your tool kit. All right, make sure you get the largest ones. I think this is what, like 9 inches or something like that. Make sure you get the big ones, okay? All right, now let me jump back because I skipped this. This is what is called a Reamer. And what this does is, this actually, when you cut conduit, when you cut conduit, the edges of the conduit is sharp, and they may have some it has some sharp edges on it. And what happens is, if you pull wire through that conduit, it may damage the insulation on that wire. What this does, it basically, using these edges here, it'll smooth out the edges of that conduit. So this one here, what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to take a traditional, let's say, screwdriver, place that in here. And this is too big, but I'm trying to show you for demonstration purposes only. And you tighten that down, and then that way I can go into the edge of the conduit and smooth all that out. Okay, so this is actually a good tool. I rarely use that because I use the file. Because I work with not only 3/4 inch conduit, 1 inch conduit, I'm working with 2 inch conduit. This is now this is a little bit rusty, guys. Don't joke with me, okay? This is actually more easy for me to use than actually use this, because like I said, this thing goes up to, I don't know, I forget the size of this thing. I think maybe this is 3/4 of an inch, but this here I can use anything from 3/4 inch conduit all the way to 2 inch to 4 inch. I'm on an industrial site, so I'm more used to working with 4 inch and 2 inch and 1 inch than actually smaller sticks of EMT. Okay, all right. Next up, side cutters, okay, or aka dikes. All right. Usually I don't use, now these suckers are huge, and I just bought these. They were very cheap. It's by a company called Pittsburgh. I usually don't use these because I use these if I want to make some cuts, if I want to cut some wire or something like that. All right. Now you don't have to get it this big, but this is also another good thing to use for when you are in the field. Of a must-have. All right. Now this is also a must-have. This is a wrench with a ratchet on the end of it. Okay. And this is also made by a company called Pittsburgh. Once again, you don't have to go buy the most expensive thing. I got this from Harvard Freights, the whole set. And the reason why I like this, other than using the standard socket wrenches, is because sometimes when I'm on site on the industrial plant, the bolt is so long, and when I'm trying to fasten the bolt, and sometimes I cannot able to use those deep sockets, so I have to use one of these. If I want to say, especially if I want to make a trapeze, and I can actually slide that thing right down the bolt and then tighten up the nut. Okay, this is one of those things, like I said, it's a must-have. Also, buy yourself some cheap pouches to put these tools in. Okay, so that way you can keep them all keep them together. All right, now next up, here's a drill. All right. Why are you not buying Bauer? Why are you not buying DeWalt? Why you buy Bauer, not DeWalt or Milwaukee? One of the things I learned on a construction site is that if you buy a name brand, and let's say you got one with a battery pack. Most of these sparkers got Milwaukee, they got DeWalt, Rigid. If you got a battery pack from a very well-known manufacturer like Rigid or Milwaukee or let's say DeWalt, they go steal your battery. So if you sit there to leave it somewhere and charge it up, most likely they say that you'll take it. That's why you have to buy some like off-brand tool. So I also got this from Harvard Freights. This is one of those things where it may not be a must-have, but when you get it, as you get into the field and you start learning some things, this is one of those things you need in your tool bag, along with the standard bits, spade bits, masonry bits. You're going to need bits for going through metal and through wood. Okay, now that's when you're going to need a bag and tool bag. Okay, I don't have the one out here. The one I got cost like $100. The tool bag with the pouches. But you're going to need a bag. I like Kleins. This is the Klien bag. This costs like $100. But if I had a choice, I would have probably bought the Milwaukee, because the Milwaukee is a little bit bigger. So if you have time to buy that, if you got the clip to buy it, go get the Milwaukee. It has a little bit more room than the Klien bag. And I don't know. I think it's almost the same price, but don't quote me on that, okay? But yeah. But anyway, this is what I think you need as a first-year apprentice. Please leave in the comments if there's something I missed and what you think that other first apprentice need. But pretty much, being in the trade for a little bit over a year, this is probably the most. These are pretty much all the tools that I have used in the past year being on an industrial site. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.